Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Waller's Wallet, and after my recent video talking about how to get great value from your American Express points, I thought it was a good time to talk about Chase points and how you can get great value from these points, because Ultimate Reward points are a very popular point currency. Because maybe you just opened that 80,000 point Chase Sapphire preferred bonus, maybe you just got a new Chase Ink card, or you have a bunch of these points laying around and have no idea how to use them. Now, if you want a simple way to help out the channel, consider hitting that thumbs up button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn that bell notification on as well so you don't miss out on future videos. Now, fortunately enough, Ultimate Reward points are a lot easier to use than American Express points. The programs aren't as difficult to use, and really next to cash back, I would think Chase Ultimate Reward points are the easiest of the flexible currencies to use. But let's take a look at how you can get some great value from your Chase points. Now, this is not an all-inclusive list because there's so many programs part of the Chase program, and there are a lot of options in order to use these points. Now, starting off with Hyatt. Now, Hyatt, hands down, is the best partner Chase Ultimate Reward points has to offer. Their points are just so valuable, and really their properties are pretty nice as well. And if Hyatt ever decided to leave Chase, then Chase transfer partners would be in some serious trouble. Now, to use these points, it's actually pretty straightforward. You want to search your property, you want to stay right on Hyatt's website, look for the point cost, and then book it. That's pretty much it. Now, Hyatt doesn't offer a benefit like a 5th night free benefit that we see at like Hilton and Marriott, for example, but the award chart for Hyatt is just so favorable, I really don't think they need to offer anything like that. And there are a lot of great opportunities to using your Hyatt points, such as using it at their small luxury hotel collection, which is a nice collection of hotels which are different than that of their usual properties. And for families or for people who don't care about staying at high-end properties, then Hyatt Places and Hyatt Houses are some of the best redemptions out there. They're low on point costs, and the properties in my experience have always been really nice. For the beach lovers or someone looking for some R&R time, the all-inclusive properties offer an amazing value at just 25,000 points per night for most of their properties, because there are a couple of all-inclusive properties that are just 20,000 points per night. That means that 80,000 Chase Sapphire preferred bonus you just got is good for 4 nights at an all-inclusive property, which is a fantastic value. And if you find yourself a good cash price on a hotel room at Hyatt, you can even upgrade your room for a reasonable amount of points. But Hyatt is a straightforward program that offers fantastic value for individuals and families. Then let's talk about using the United Excursionist perk. Now, the Excursionist perk is such a great way to extend your points and really get some great value from your Ultimate Reward points. Because the United Excursionist perk is basically giving you a free one-way ticket in your itinerary on multi-city trips. And the great thing about this is that this itinerary doesn't even need to make logical sense. Now, what I mean here is all the routes and segments, they do not need to align. Now, there are some rules for this, like travel needs to end in the region you started. So if you started your travel in the US, you need to finish your travels back in the US, although you don't need to go back where you originally started from. And your Excursionist perk needs to be used in one defined region, and it needs to be all booked in the same cabin of travel, which means you can't book an entire coach ticket, then fly business class for your free Excursionist perk. I'll even link the rules down in the description below if you want more on that. Now, with the Excursionist perk, you can get pretty creative here if you wanted to, or you can just simply add a stopover and open jaw to your itinerary. For example, you can book this trip from Boston to Lisbon round trip for 66,000 miles since it is using partner airlines. Or you can book a ticket from Boston to Lisbon, then Lisbon to Budapest, then Budapest back to LA for the same 66,000 miles. Or if you wanted, you could fly back into Boston instead of going to LA, but it would be the same cost at 66,000 miles. But by adding this Excursionist perk, you're getting more value from your Ultimate Reward points. And this just might be the most valuable airline perk you get from your Chase Ultimate Reward points. And the United search engine is actually really good, and you should be able to pretty much book everything right online for this itinerary. Now, I have a whole video going into deep detail on the United Excursionist perk, so be sure to check that out if you want to get more information about this benefit, because it's a pretty valuable benefit. Then let's talk about using Emirates miles to fly on their 5th Freedom routes. Now, Emirates is known as a great airline, and some of their routes have amazing cabins as well. But Emirates does have a couple of 5th Freedom routes to Europe, which could be a great use of your points and miles. Now these routes are currently only out of JFK, so you would need to reposition if you want to fly on Emirates. But it would only cost you 45,000 points round trip to fly coach to Athens or Milan on Emirates Airlines, or only 90,000 miles to fly business class. And the taxes and fees here are pretty reasonable too. So this is something to keep in mind if you are looking to travel to either Athens or Milan. And to book this flight, you can just search right over on Emirates, and when you see the open award space, transfer your points to Emirates and book it. It's that simple. Then let's talk about using the Chase Travel Portal. Now, unlike American Express, the Chase Travel Portal redemption options don't suck nearly as much, and they're actually pretty decent. And they do seem to have more options since it's powered by Expedia, and then when you have a card like the Chase Sapphire Reserve or even the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you do get some uplift when you book travel through the portal. Now this uplift can be up to 1.25 cents per point if you have the Chase Sapphire Preferred, or up to 1.5 cents per point for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And for economy flyers or people who like to stay at boutique hotels, or maybe even stay at chain hotels but you don't really care about status, this can be a good value, even a good option for your redemption. Now there are occasionally business class deals that could be a good use to book through the Chase Travel Portal, but that doesn't happen too often. But the Chase Travel Portal is a straightforward redemption option to redeeming your Chase points for travel with some uplift. And this is just like using your points as cash. And when you do book through the travel portal, you are going to earn points for flights since you're booking a revenue ticket. Now, hotels are not required to acknowledge your status and give you your status benefits, since booking through the Chase Travel Portal is considered booking an OTA. So if having your status benefits is important to you, I would keep that in mind and maybe look to book directly through the hotel. And when you use the Chase Travel Portal, since you're buying an airline ticket and not booking an award flight, you may also have better options for better routing, which may mean fewer connections and less flight time. And depending on which cards you have, this could actually be a better way to redeem for flights on Southwest or even JetBlue. Then you have the pay yourself back benefit. Now, this isn't a sexy way to redeem your points, but it's actually not a bad way to use them, especially if you've opened these cards for the bonuses, but have no real intentions on traveling, or maybe you're just looking for a way to use your points to save some cash. Then again, maybe you're an economy traveler and you don't want to deal with the Chase Travel Portal, or you're like me and you want to basically cash out your points for a way to stay at Airbnbs for less. Because when you use the pay yourself back benefit, you can redeem for the same value like going through the Chase Travel Portal with your Chase Sapphire Preferred, AIM Preferred, or Chase Sapphire Reserve, which you're going to get 1.25 cents per point or 1.5 cents per point for groceries, home improvement stores, and dining purchases, which is not a bad option to redeem your points because all of us have these charges in some capacity at these places. But using the pay yourself back benefit can let you cash out your points at a value greater than 1 cent per point. And either you can just use them against the charges you've made, or you can even move the equivalent cash value of that redemption maybe to an investment account or a travel fund, for example. But this option gives you a stable, high value return for those daily expenses that other banks just don't give you, because other banks may let you redeem at 1 cent per point or even at less than 1 cent per point. And this is just a solid alternative if you aren't looking to travel or want the flexibility to redeem your points in other ways. Long term though, it could be cheaper for you to maybe look at running a cash back setup instead of having these cards with higher annual fees. But if you're unsure how to use this option and want to know more, I do have a video showing you exactly where to go and how to use the pay yourself back benefit, so be sure to check that out. Then you can use Avios for short haul American airline flights. Now, just like with American Express, British Airways is a transfer partner of Chase Ultimate Reward Points, which makes them a great option for American airline flyers, especially on those short haul flights. Now, we have seen Chase offer transfer bonuses to British Airways a couple times in the past, and most recently it was a 30% transfer bonus as well, which is a nice boost. But do remember to price compare since American Airlines is dynamic for their pricing. But for the American airline flyer, this is a program you need to look at because it can offer you some great value. Because for just 7,500 Avios one way for a short haul flight can be a great way to reposition or even visit a new place you've been looking forward to seeing. And remember, you want this to be a non-stop flight because British Airways will add the segments together, which can make this option more expensive than other options. And remember, you can book this right on British Airways website. Then you can look to use Virgin Atlantic miles to fly on Delta. Now once again, we see some overlap from American Express because Virgin Atlantic points are partners with just about all the flexible currencies. But using Virgin Atlantic miles is a great option to fly on Delta, either for some coach flights or even for international premium cabins. Because with Virgin Atlantic, you still have a standard award chart, which Delta lacks, and the taxes and fees are similar to that than what you'd pay on Delta. So if given the option, Virgin Atlantic miles are a great way to fly Delta for fewer miles than actually using your Delta Sky miles. Not all the time though, especially with some of the great Delta flash sales we've seen, but it's always great to check Virgin Atlantic. For example, Delta is going to charge you 100,000 miles one way from this flight from Atlanta to Rio, while Virgin Atlantic's only going to charge you 45,000 miles for the same flight in business class. So you would be able to fly round trip in business class using Virgin Atlantic miles, then flying one way using your Delta miles, and this here would be an absolute no-brainer to use Virgin Atlantic over Delta. Now to book these flights, you can look right on Virgin Atlantic's website, although it won't always show you every Delta option. So what you can do to find Delta space is either call Virgin Atlantic, the reps there are absolutely fantastic, or you can check over on Flying Blue's website since Flying Blue is part of the SkyTeam Alliance. And if Delta space is showing on Flying Blue, write down all that information, then call into Virgin Atlantic to book your flight. This does add a few steps to the booking process, but for the mile savings, it's well worth the hassle. Now, Chase points are a really good program to really get your feet wet in the points and miles world because they offer some good value options while you're navigating through different point programs. And there are a lot more opportunities to use your points than just these options. It really just depends on your travel style and your travel goals, but there are so many different ways to use Chase Ultimate Reward points. But over time, you're going to realize Ultimate Reward points don't offer nearly the same oversized value that you can get from programs like American Express, for example. And some of you may really want oversized value. But American Express programs are more advanced and just take more work to learn. So while some people can earn millions of points with American Express, using them is a different story. And the lack of truly valuable Ultimate Reward partners, I think, is really Chase's downside here. But their ease of use for beginners, it makes them far more appealing than other point currencies. And Chase just does a great job making it easy to earn points with their cost-effective ecosystem. And this could be a good option for budget travelers who want a point system that offers them consistent value, and really you only need a few cards to make it work well. So tell me, what is your favorite way to use your Chase Ultimate Reward points? Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in this video. If you want to help support the channel, take a look at the links down in the description below. And if you know somebody that could benefit from the video, feel free to share with them. Until next time, safe travel and take care.